Nowadays, video games are really big business. Nowadays, the Avengers are even bigger business. So, surely an Avengers video game would be the biggest business, right? Take your mind back to the 26th of January 2017. This was still a time of hope for humanity. This was the day when Marvel Entertainment released the teaser for an upcoming Avengers AAA video game labeled the Avengers Project. This teaser was litty as hell. It was enigmatic. There wasn't a single second of anything resembling gameplay footage, and even still it left gamers around the world salivating for some Tony Stark megapixel action. The only tiny little hold up a minute came in the form of the fact that Marvel was announcing a partnership with Square Enix. Now, no hate to Square Enix, but I remember being surprised by the fact that they were making a big budget Avengers video game. You see, Square Enix have always been a little bit more
Gilgamesh.
A little bit more.
We're here to kill chaos.
Then Avengers Assemble. But hey, who cares? It's the Avengers. Everybody loves the Avengers, and we're getting a brand spanking new Avengers video game. Fast forward 2 years, no one has heard a damn thing about the Avengers project. Infinity War and Endgame, they came out and absolutely killed it. Everyone's throbbing about the Avengers. Boom, it's E3 2019. Square Enix finally properly revealed their Avengers game, and it's so Right from the get-go, everyone was a little iffy on the fact that the Avengers looked so B-tech. The video game Avengers were what you would get if you took the MCU Avengers, made them 50% less good looking, and then slapped a Final Fantasy filter onto them. To top things off, Square Enix gave Captain America one of the worst costume designs I've ever seen. To put it bluntly, it's ugly as shit. The gameplay looked alright, but then news started coming out that the game was a live service oriented.
That's suspicious.
Microtransactions fest.
That's weird.
Fast forward one more time to August 14th, 2020. Square Enix Marvel's Avengers finally comes out, and boy does it suck. The way the Gamer Republic views a video game can sometimes become a bit of a narrative. Sometimes we all just like to buy into nice little stories regarding a game's quality. Like, oh yeah, Dark Souls 2, that's totally the worst Souls game. Or Dead or Alive Extreme Volleyball, that's totally a game for loser nerds. We've all heard that Marvel's Avengers is a bad game. Most of you have probably also heard that its story was a potential saving grace. I'm here to tell you that yes, not only is Marvel's Avengers dog shit, its story is also ass. Marvel's Avengers starts out promisingly. It's A-Day, and you are Kamala Khan, a young Avengers fan who signed up for the Avengers fan fiction competition. Very #relatable, Square Enix. As Kamala, you walk around Avengers Park, and unfortunately, even in an Avengers fan haven, you still run into your classic neighborhood bullies. This bully scene is actually my favorite scene in the entire video game, because when the bullies make fun of Kamala for being a dweeb, she responds with this absolute peach of a quote.
When the mob, and the press, and the whole world tell you to move, you plant yourself like a tree beside the river of truth, and you say no. You move.
What?
This prologue is actually a cross-section of the average Marvel fan's psyche, because for whatever reason, every Avenger comes up to Kamala and throbs over her epic fanness. It really makes you feel like a fanfiction. Blah blah blah, basic superhero plot ensues. Now we are in grown-up Kamala's bedroom. Remember how I said that the characters kinda look like cheap MCU knockoffs? Yeah, that's kind of a recurring theme throughout the game. Square Enix really wants to tickle your MCU nostalgia. Kamala's bedroom is covered with Iron Man posters, and oh, guess what they all say?
I am Iron Man.
He said it! He said it!
Back on Reddit, Kamala stumbles her way onto a kinda sussy baka post. This post talks about how A.I.M is evil and the Inhuman curse is a lie. Kamala clicks on the sussy link and gets transferred to Tony Stark's OnlyFans megastash. Hint, his password is his first love. Guess what Tony Stark's password is Bing bing, you guessed it, it's
I am Iron Man.
Kamala logs into Tony's profile and discovers secret video footage that proves that A.I.M is evil. Wow! I would like to point out that this is the literal ignition point for the game's entire ensuing plot. Kamala clicking on a dodgy link and then somehow being the only person in the entire world to figure out that Tony Stark's password is I am Iron Man is the genuine, honest-to-God entire reason the game's story unfolds. I would like to jump to my second favorite scene in the game. Kamala is trapped in a car with the game's main two villains. The game, up till now, has built up how nefarious and cunning these two bad guys are. They have manipulated the entire world into hating the Avengers and have turned America into their own state-controlled dystopia. These two have built a cyber army that hunts down Inhumans for breakfast. These two psychos have finally captured Kamala but have offered her the chance to join them and their Inhuman army. Kamala says no, she can never join the A.I.M scum. Then take a guess on how she escapes from these nefarious masterminds. She opens the car door and runs away. I've made my jokes, but honestly the story is okay. I don't think it's a saving grace because, to be honest, it really does feel like an MCU rehash. To put it bluntly, the story is just mid. In terms of Marvel's Avengers gameplay, there is actually some fun to be had. The combos are flashy, the powers look cool and have some swanky particle effects. Combat with each character just feels pretty good. For the first 30 minutes, that is. The problem with this game is that it's the most repetitive fucking game I have ever played in my life. And I played Assassin's Creed Valhalla, okay? There are 3 mission types in this game. Stand in circle, stand in square, and kill enemies. Oh my god, I forgot about break object. I am so stupid. To go along with these 4 objectives, there are 4 maps, all of which are empty and lack interactive elements. I literally just started each mission, zoomed straight to the objective, and rinse and repeat. The game's combat is button mashy fun, but a lot of the depth it could have is negated by the completely random enemy counterattack and blocking windows, as well as the fact that the huge number of enemies you face at a time devolves everything into a bit of a clusterfuck. Marvel's Avengers gameplay just gets old super fast, then the game proceeds to shove that repetitive, rotted milk curd of a gameplay loop in your face for the next 20 hours. Alongside uber repetitiveness, Square Enix, when making this game, went to the unholy chest of cursed gameplay design mechanics and decided that they were going to use every single goddamn one of them.
We're gonna need
a completely arbitrary loot system. I mean, seriously, let me explain how the loot system works. Every 5 minutes you open the character menu and hold the auto-equip best loot button.
We're gonna need
an unbelievably grindy RPG character leveling system.
We're gonna need
arbitrary multiplayer in what is most definitely at its heart just a single player game. Did you guys ever play Marvel Ultimate Alliance? That game knew what it was, a casual dumb fun brawler made for the fans. It didn't overstay its welcome, it was a little silly, and it had fun with itself. Marvel's Avengers should be, and sometimes does feel like, a next-gen AAA Ultimate Alliance, but it kills those Ultimate Alliance for the fans vibes by having all those arbitrary, incoherent, cursed gameplay mechanics. The game devolves into a chore that constantly wants you to just keep playing for the sake of playing, and fundamentally the reason why the game is like this is because as soon as you start Marvel's Avengers, the first thing you see after you go past those cheeky opening credit rolls is an annoying little pop-up message that tries to redirect you to the marketplace. And that about sums this game up. When making Marvel's Avengers, Square Enix went to the unholy chest of cursed video game business practices and decided, once again, that they were going to use every single goddamn one of them. This game was released unfinished and had an extremely buggy launch. This game has microtransactions, a shit ton of microtransactions. Square Enix tries to get you to buy nameplates. Square Enix tries to get you to buy emotes. Square Enix tries to get you to buy finishes. And of course, Square Enix tries to get you to buy cosmetic skins. What I really like about Square Enix is that they said, hey guys, we're not putting loot boxes in the game. And so everyone at the E3 press conference goes crazy. We love Square Enix. And yes, there are no loot boxes. But instead of loot boxes, every single tiny little microtransaction microtransaction costs a small fortune. One legendary outfit is $14 dingoes. The reason why people don't like loot boxes is because they're completely random. If I'm going to spend more than the cost of purchasing the actual base game, I want to get exactly what I want. You don't get to hyperinflate your prices as a way to solve the loot box problem. The problem was the randomness, not the price. Even more revolutionarily, all the skins in Marvel's Avengers just plain suck. There aren't in fact hundreds of skins as Square Enix might claim. Each character actually has only 3 skins, and then just a shit ton of palette swaps. I wish I was joking. Marvel's Avengers even brought back a golden oldie, an old school classic in the shady video game practices catalog. Marvel's Avengers brought back the pre-order bonus. And we're not talking about one pre-order bonus. No, this game will have you sifting through Excel sheets trying to figure out how to get each shitty pre-order bonus skin. We got a Best Buy bonus. We got a Verizon bonus. We probably got a Chum Bucket pre-order bonus. This game makes no attempts at hiding its corporate shillery. Even before the game was released, Square Enix announced tie-in comics and tie-in novels, and of course, a Funko Pop collection. Every video game oscillates between product and art. An indie game like The Witness, that's, I don't know, 80% art and 20% product. A game like Breath of the Wild, let's say that's 50-50 art and product. And then for a Call of Duty, let's be generous and say that it's 20% art and 80% product. Marvel's Avengers is 99.99999% product and 0.00001% art. Truly groundbreaking. This game is the most internally corporate game I have ever played. You know those copy and paste missions? Yeah, slap a Captain America icon onto them, and now they're heroic mission chains. All those shitty reskinned outfits, those are legendary outfits. And those nameplates? They aren't just nameplates, okay? They're iconic epithets. The RPG leveling grind, that's a mythic struggle. Don't worry guys, Spiderman might not have any story missions, but he's going to have a hero event. Nah, Marvel's Avengers doesn't have microtransactions, you silly goose. It has expandable digital investments. From the outside looking in, it feels like a bunch of investors got together and forked out the cash for the Avengers license. Then they just kinda assumed that anything they made with that license would print an unbelievable amount of money. And so, instead of bothering to think about what a genuine creative Avengers game would look like, they opted to make the most cursed, most money-sucking video game of all time. It really feels like, at the top level, there was just an expectation that no matter what they put out, the Avengers brand would make all of us idiot consumers buy whatever product was in front of us. What I really find funny about this game is that after the crappy reviews came out and after the disappointing sales figures were calculated, to try and salvage this live service disaster, Square Enix gave us a Hawkeye post-launch campaign. Not once, but twice. These men really pinned all their hopes on Hawkeye. Twice! These Square Enix Donnies really sat at their video game publisher award table and decided to whip out Hawkeye, the most boring Avenger of all time, to try and win back the player base. Luckily, there is a happy ending to this story. I feel like we, the gaming community, called bullshit on Marvel's Avengers, and as such, it was a massive flop. Square Enix, they still try and keep up the masquerade that Marvel's Avengers is a thing, but we all know it's not. The great irony is that if they had just made a semi-decent Avengers game with no bullshit, they really would have made the big bucks.